Here we're asked to find the derivative. This is Leibniz notation. So the derivative of this function, all right, 5x squared plus 1 over x minus 6 over square root of x. To do this, we're going to use the power rule. Now remember, the power rule says if you can write something x to some power, the derivative is r times x to the r minus 1 power. Okay? So what we want to do first is rewrite this function in terms of powers of x. So the first one's fine. We got 5x squared. Now we can write 1 over x as x to the minus 1 power. And then minus 6 x to the, so square root of x is the 1/2 power. Notice it's in the denominator, so I can write that as negative 1/2 power. So now I have the function written as powers of x. Right? From here, then, we can apply the power rule. So the power rule, what we're going to do is take the power here, 2, and multiply it times 5, and then reduce that power by 1. So 10x to the 1 power if you want. All right, and then again multiply. So negative 1 times 1 is minus 1x, and then we'll reduce the power. So negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. And then here multiplying, negative 1/2 times negative 6 will give me a plus 3x. Now, negative 1/2 minus 1 would be negative 3/2. Okay, so once we apply the power rule, then we want to just make it look nice. Typically, if you didn't have negative exponents in the original, you don't want to put negative exponents in your solution. So I would finish this off by rewriting this as 10x minus 1 over x squared plus 3 over the square root of x to the third. Or let me write that as x to the 3/2 power, if you will. All right, so 10x minus 1 over x squared plus 3 over square root of x to the third. Now that denominator can be simplified a little bit. Assuming x is positive, we have this. So you might see, you might even have to actually rationalize that, but this is as far as I'm going to go, x square root of x. Now let's go ahead and see what Wolfram Alpha gives us. All right, so I'm here at wolframalpha.com, and I do believe it'll take Leibniz notation. So I'm just going to type in d dx, d over dx, d dx, and then type in the function that we were working with. So in parentheses, 5x squared plus 1 over x, and then it was minus 6 over square root of x. Okay, and then I'll end that parentheses. Once I have that typed in, I'll hit the equal button, and we'll see what we get. All right, so you could see here the derivative of this function equals, so there's our 10x minus 1 over x squared, and then 3 over x to the 3/2 power. Notice it left x to the 3/2 power. That's a little more general. So Wolfram Alpha is not assuming that x is positive. So that's our answer, and it looks good. Great.